I'd like to bring Cassie in because she has very kind of hands-on experience of what this actually looks like for clients previously as a consultant and now also newly joining Brabner's as an analyst. She's going to be working exactly in this forward deployed way. So I wonder, Cassie, if you might kind of tell us about what that transition looks like from working in a kind of standard like analyst role to then transitioning into this kind of forward deployed way and putting AI right at the core and at the center of how you work day to day.
Yeah, it's a really interesting one, actually, Rosie. I think going back a little bit, I think from my personal experience, I've sort of joined the analytics side, right? I think where the cusp of trust was happening with this, and people were starting to utilize chatbots and things like that more and more to help support their work. And I think when I first started doing that, it was almost a bit of a cloak and dagger. People weren't necessarily, is this okay? If somebody's learnt this way, is that the right way to learn? One thing that's been really useful, I think, to see, particularly over the last few years, is whilst governance is slim on the ground with that, and we are making movements towards it, that input of governance and that regulation that is slowly coming into play, it's bringing that conversation to the right desks, I think, and making sure that AI is a topic that is discussed more openly in workplaces as well. So potentially those that were using that sort of cloak and dagger, it's meaning actually the right regulation, the right governance is being put in place because companies are now accepting that yes, their workforce are using this. Let's enable it and enable people to do it in the right way and teach them to use it in a way that's most beneficial for them, but also for the business itself. So, I mean, my role has changed hugely over the few years, probably the last 3 years. Initially, I would have started out doing an awful lot of business logic implementation manually or by hand. Um, Something that could have taken me a week to build back when I first started can now take me a couple of minutes. And my role specifically has changed in a huge way. Ajit, you're absolutely correct. And I think this is already happening in that my main role is as a translator. So when I'm requirements gathering and I'm speaking to um, business users for new development projects, we're looking at, okay, do you really need this? What's the right tool for this? And what are the requirements here? And how can we translate that into something? And it's less about the development side and the time taken there, and more about enabling businesses to get what it is that they need from that.